What up, dog? How's everybody doing? Yo. Bro, listen to some Seven Lions. I love when music brings back memories. Hey. Alright, I'm ready. Interesting, right? So, let's do a quick analysis today. Today was a doozy of a day. Alright, so our daily close extremely bearish. We closed below this most recent level here, and we're back down. What's this look like? That's actually a gap. Our real support is down here. So we did respect this level of support right here. We tapped this level of support, pulled back, and now we're coming down to retest that level of support. We have no top wicks on these hourlies, no top wick, no top wick, and we're coming down to tap a major level of support. We're trickling down. This is looking like a 30-minute money printer, 15-minute money printer. How deep can we sweep these lows before pushing back up is what I'm looking for. It needs to kick in. Be right back. How was your guys' day today? You guys take anything? What up, Jay? 210 pips, New York. Nice. I caught 85 pips today. Hello, brother Eddie. How are you trading going today? My trading is going well. My trading is going well. Look at that flip. Holy crap. What is going on here? Look at that gap. Yeah, futures chart looks like trash. Yeah, futures contracts look like ass right now. So, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing price spaz out. Damn. I was looking at that. Massive market sell-offs every day today, yeah. Look at this pullback, 403 pips. I took a sell on the rebreak of this candle low here, and look at how it pulled back on me. What a bitch. I sold here. Instant pullback, 400 pips, and then rejected and came back down. I was looking for that options. I was trying to see how I can get in here on the money printer on the 15-minute. I was looking for a buy stop here. Damn. I ate a banana and I keep burping up this fucking banana. Nice. Yeah, Jay, how's the baby? You guys still in there, or you guys headed out?
Yeah, the baby's doing really well. And the mother too. No, we're still here. We're here till at least tomorrow. Pediatrician is going to be coming by tomorrow to take a look, and then they'll let us know if they discharge us or not. If not, then we might stay an extra day. So they uh, they're going to be doing all the tests tomorrow. But mother's doing great. Baby's doing really great. And I managed to get some sleep today. Um, my girlfriend took the chair and let me have the bed for a couple of hours so I could rest. And apparently, I took advantage because I was snoring really loudly, but I needed it. I was completely burnt, so it helped a lot. So now I have more energy and I can take care of the baby when she's sleeping. So it worked out well.
Yeah, good
Thanks for
shit, bro.
asking.
I'm happy for you, bro. Happy everything is good, healthy.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Very, very happy. It hasn't sunk in yet, but it will.
Yeah, my friend was like, he had twins, and after like a month, when they both started crying like at the same time, he sent me a message and he goes, "Now I feel it." They were both just crying at the same time, and then the dog was like in the background, like barking too, and he was like, "Ah, shit, here we go." Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bro. That's why I got you that the white noise maker, so you can play it every time they go to sleep, so that it's like a training device. So that way, every time they hear that little noise, they go, "Ah, nap time." This noise is only played when I go to sleep. Nap time. I think I found a new candle. Back test it, forward test it, sideways test it, and full send it. Yesterday at 10 p.m., I said, this is the top for NQ. Why did I say that? I've been back testing a play. I called it at this high right here. So before the dump, this went into drawdown 94 pips and then dumped and never came back. It dumped for 1,000 pips. And now we have a gap right here, 1,000 pips away. Gaps never get filled the same day. Not never. Low probability. So, are we starting to form some support here on the Nasdaq to start looking for some new highs here? Or at least to refill that gap? What the hell? This thing just dumped here. Oh, no, it didn't. What's up, Hikari? Hikari Ultra. Whew, this 30-minute money printer just flipped. Three minutes for this hourly close. I kind of wanted to take buy stops, so we have 3 minutes. We have a nice no top wick, no bottom wick candle we can target to fill for the top wick on the daily candle. Man, let's wait for this hourly closure, see if we can get a bottom wick and then another flip bullish. That's why I got into the buys at that bottom. Yes, bro. The idea is there. The idea is fucking there. I'm a little slow this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever the fuck you call it. It's crazy. My phone didn't even vibrate, Alfredo. Yeah, I'm extremely exhausted. This time change fucked me up. I couldn't sleep for shit, and then I couldn't wake up for shit. But I still got up. Usually after like 30 minutes, I'm not groggy anymore, but I stayed groggy the entire day. I can't tell what the levels are sometimes. I miss entries, so I don't take the trade. That's why I started adding moving averages, because the moving averages give me levels I can take off of, and they also give me extra confluence, right? So if the moving averages are starting listen, I'm not an expert on these moving averages. I don't know how they work. You can hit up Market Mechanic and get a tutorial from him on how the moving averages work. I just know every time I take a trade, I get this setup right here. Bam. Crossing of the moving averages, the scoop, trending on the moving average, rebreak of the high. Like right now, a rebreak of the high is perfectly valid. We just don't have a bottom wick. This thing is just gonna fly, man. I've seen this happen way too many times. Let's see if we can get a bottom wick here. And then a rebreak of the high. This might not be the move. Let's be patient. A rebreak of that hourly high. How many pips to the stop loss to down here? We have 62 pips. I was contemplating taking a rebreak of this high right here. We have a lot of room here. Let's clear this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is perfectly valid. That popped without me. I'm hesitating here. This didn't even move. This didn't even move. Buy stop rejected? Yeah. That's what would have happened if I would have quickly tried to set mine. So this is valid right here, right? The buy stops. What do we have here? The money printer, if we do. It didn't drive. That's a good thing. If this hourly flips bearish, I would have to delete those buy stops. The idea is for this to continue driving up to grab a top wick here. Breaking the previous hourly high and then flipping bearish after closing like this below the most recent range, you're getting your celery play forming to the downside. So I'm gonna delete the buy stop there. That's a celery play forming here to the downside. Taking a flip bearish of the break of the lows is very valid here. I don't trade that pattern anymore, even though it's very clean. Huh. It is very clean on the higher time frame. We got tornado warnings down here in Florida. The best entry was down here. This is a daily level here. How often does Wix trade the Asian session? And any of you that are in the signals? What the hell is that? I'm gonna have a buy stop here on the break of this high. That's a weird candle. I've never seen that before. The 34-inch monitor? Damn. You're right. The curve. You mean the 48? This is the 32. Sorry, this is a 28. I'm tripping. And the other one is a 30. Yes, the 49 inches, the curve, they're 500 brand new. A lot of companies are selling them brand new for 500. But you know me, bro. I get good deals. Wix in the gym, 30 grams of protein per joint. You're a savage, Wixicans. Wix Diesel. Hey, Zoom. I'm gonna speak after I mute my mic for a second. Let me know if you hear me. Damn, so Zoom is using a different mic than Stream. TP. I need this to push. I'm break even here. Gave you a much better move on gold over here. I gave you 13 pips already. I didn't see 13. Alright, I'm gonna close there at 10. Beautiful. I have a nice top wick on my daily here, but this one doesn't have a top wick. Easy buys, yeah. For scalpers. I need this caffeine to start kicking in. Beautiful. Yeah, no drawdown trade. My charts are lagging. I think I need to restart my computer, but I'm not gonna. Oh, it's because CapCut's open. Wow, straight to TP. Straight to 20 pip TP. That's beautiful. That break-even point was so good. That break-even point was so good. Yeah. It's because there's a lot of volume in the markets here. Let me take that off and just leave this. That break-even point was so fucking clean, dude. When you got the rebreak of the high, price came back, rebroke the high again. That was the break-even point. We came back 4 or 5 pips from break-even and then took the fuck off right to TP. These are what my trades need to look like 24/7. To be honest, I closed there a little bit early because that hourly doesn't have much of a bottom wick. I don't really like that a whole lot. if that hourly would have gave us a bottom wick, it's looking like since it's the 8 o'clock open, it's not going to give us that bottom wick right away. So I might be disregarding it. But ideally, 20 pips is much better. Well, that hit perfect TP. My TP was right here at this level right here. So from entry here, 16 pips. Nice. I took 10. Today I actually stacked in profit in a position. So gold, right here, gold broke the highs here. It put me 9 pips in profit and then pulled back. And then I waited and I took another buy stop on the rebreak of this entry at 9 pips in profit. So this entry at 9 pips in profit popped 6 pips, and this one at 9, so I closed for 16 pips. That was my 16 pip trade on gold, and then 70 pips on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq actually almost took me out today. This pullback right here almost destroyed me. This pullback here was 230 pips. I was like 230, fuck. But luckily I took an entry here, pineapple here, profit for 40 pips here. Then I took another entry here. Instant, bro, instant 100 pip drawdown within 2 minutes. And then it dumped and I took 30. Hey, I appreciate you for subscribing, brother. I appreciate you for subscribing. Do you like pina coladas? Getting lost in the rain. Oh, that was a perfect money printer. I was watching it form and I couldn't get a good eye on it. Tell you what. What do we have? 1 minute left? Must have a sell stop. How often do I stream Asian session? Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 10 p.m. Tomorrow there might not be an Asian session. I gotta go help out Market Mechanic with something, so I'm gonna help out his family member with something. It depends how early I get it done. I might be back at by like 8 p.m. and I might be able to start stream at like 8:30. But it's not gonna be a 7:30 stream. Facts, yeah, bro. He was getting ripped off by some company out in Miami, and I'm like, nah, bro, trust me, I got you. I'll take the trip down to your place. It's about an hour drive. Probably gonna leave there like around 4, get there like around 5, get it done, probably about hour and a half, and then drive back 6:30. So I'd probably get here home probably like 8 p.m. on the dot. And then after I get ready real quick, probably 8:30 I can start stream. My strategy is supply and demand, support and resistance, and breakouts. This is an entry type called the money printer where the previous candle closes with no top wick. The next candle comes up without a bottom wick or without a small bottom wick. Initially to grab orders at a previous level of interest. Top wicks indicate no top wick indicates no more range for continuation. if this next candle is creating the top wick for this candle, this is finishing off the range so that when it finally flips, since the range is done, it's going to reject off this resistance and come back down to the lows here. That's ideally what the play is. So a good rule of thumb is whatever size wick this is, that could be your target as well, because usually we might get something like that, right? So this is called the money printer. This is a setup that we've been taking for a long time now, and we've been adding variations to it, taking it at different locations, taking it at different spots. Um, But basically, what happened here? We have a level of support here. Price came back down, tapped the level of support, came back and closed back into this minor range. What happened? Now this minor range here, I needed it to break and close above. So once the 1 minute closed above this minor range, I waited for a pullback and then I took a buy stop on the breakout of this minor range here. The bougie scoop. Yeah, the trade's getting mainstream. Yeah, bro. Brother, I promise you, bro. If I ever make a playbook, your names have to be in there. It just makes sense. You love it when gold melts? Let's hope Goldilocks hears you. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing fantastic. Give me 1 second. Let's hope this dumps right to TP. Damn, they should have dumped right to TP. Had to go open the door for my cousin. I saw him coming on my cameras. Slowly. Giving him mentoring lessons and teaching him a little bit, seeing if he wants to get into the game so he can see me every single day. It's tricky when having somebody watch you live and money's on the line and you're like, oh shit. And then like the other day my cousin was like, why didn't you hold that, bro? I was gonna tell you to hold that. And I'm like, why didn't you fucking say something, bro? I might have felt peer pressure and held it. And that was the trade that I took 45 pips loss on that instantly went into profit like 2 minutes later. My brother Santos, how you doing, bro? You are a savage, bro. Thank you for showing up, bro. No matter what, I appreciate you for showing up. Appreciate you for coming out. I saw 9 pips there. That's break even. And that is full TP, brothers. $20 pips, 22 pips. That hit 12 pips TP on the dot. Well, it pulled back like 1 pip, so I'm gonna count that as 11 and then 10 on the other. Go hello. You know what I feel, bro? I feel extra American today. Extra American. This is my favorite part of America, that I can have
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America. United States of the blicky with a switch. You can't report me, bro. I'm legal. In Florida, we don't need no license. We don't need no license. I can walk around with my legal blick wherever I want. Did you know that the one that I just... Huh? Did you know... Watch it. Did you know that what I just showed you is technically a pistol? And technically, if I can fit it in my hoodie, I can walk around with it legally.
forward. Best states, the United States.
So, but since it's a CCP, you basically just put it in your fanny pack. You take the shoulder the fucking damn, I don't even know, forgot what it's called. There's a specific name I gotta call it. It's not it's not the stock. The stocks are for rifles and they get screwed onto the gun. This is a foldable something, I don't know. For me to be able to keep it as a pistol, it has to be foldable. It's an SBR brace. That's what it is. It's an SBR brace. That was a perfect TP and a perfect closure, huh? Bro, I couldn't even get this. This shit put me over my limit. I can only get like 2 ounces every, like, I don't know. I can't get more than like 2 ounces at a time or something. And I guess I bought a whole bunch already. I think the state is fucking with my limit. That lady gave me 7,000 more milligrams. Which means I could have bought 6 more cars.
You get the new flavor.
Bro, tell me how it broke.
The leprechaun piss?
Yeah, it wasn't working. And I had to go back and I said, nah, just give me another one. I don't want to risk it. Chitty chitty bang bang. Hey, so that means that when I'm talking shit about chat and I mute the mic, Zoom can still hear it. Really? 30 just closed. This blunt just closed. All right. Damn, that's some beautiful fucking price action, bro. Buys and sells, bro. That's so clean, bro. Stuff like this makes me so excited and so happy to be a trader, bro. This is why I love trading. I love it when things play out so perfectly, even when they don't. Even when you take a loss. We love trading. Yes, bro. Even when you take a loss, bro, and you have the perfect stop loss and you're like, whew! NQ kept dropping. Thank God I got out of those buys. Bro, look at this. I got in a buy here. No, where did I get in a buy at, bro? I got in a buy on NQ, bro, and it almost destroyed me. I got in a buy here on this hourly flip. Boom. After we respected this level here on NQ, I got in a buy. Boom. Then I went into like 200 pips of drawdown and had to pineapple out. I got out break even, and then it fucking dumped. I think I got 20 pips out of that, maybe. 30-minute just closed. We had a 30-minute bullish closure. This 30-minute already continued and filled the range, but we do need a top wick on XAU over here. We need a top wick here on XAU still. I mean, we're not... We already did kind of come up and grab it. We're only 20 pips away from the daily flip. W pineapple in. Yes, bro. Yes, yes, yes. It was insane, the dump after. I'm gonna show you the screenshot. Woof. Look at that. Hold up. You see, I took an entry at the top, one here, and then one at the bottom. It's so hard for me to show you. Holy shit. And then price just continued to plummet after. Is Apex still trying to start a show called Naked and Trading? Bro, did you see Ninja Trader started sharing care packages and sending people stuff? Ninja Trader sent somebody a mug and a Ninja Trader massage gun. Yeah, but the goal is to eventually use Ninja Trader. I'm doing my research right now. I've came across like 3 copy traders and I'm trying to see the reviews and the stats and see which one will be best for me. Um, I see a lot of people having trouble with the Ninja Trader, but they're copy trading like 20 accounts and they're seeing lag across 20 accounts. I'm only going to be doing like 3 or 4 accounts, so it's not going to be a big deal. So I'm doing a little bit of research on that end, uh, trying to see which one works. Somebody else shared another one that's a little bit more expensive but gives you more benefits. So I might weigh the pros and cons. I gotta see a little bit deeper on the more expensive one. It's like double the price. Basically, on my TraderBit account, I link the TraderBit account to Ninja Trader, make that the main account. I'll be trading on it on Ninja on Trading View right here, so it'll only be my TraderBit live account, and then on Ninja Trader it'll have activated the other account. Miami is full of scammers. I'm like, bro, they're trying to give you the Honda of units for 11 grand. I can give you the Gucci of units for 11 grand. The thing is, in New York, um, things are so old that you for sure have to really tell people, hey, just get a new one. Your house is from the 1920s. Your air conditioner is 87 years old. It's older than the house. When they built the house, they bought a used air conditioner. That's how old this one is. You need a new one. Just chill. Sometimes it's like that. But other times, bro, come on, bro. All they needed to do was just be cleaned. Oh, bro, trust me. Trust me, I definitely have a plan to help people get into the HVAC field because I'm gonna give you a really good example. I went to air conditioning school with a friend of mine, and we've been friends ever since. So we've been friends now for like 12 years because we met in trade school. His brother comes up to me and he says, "Yo, bro, I'm finishing school right now and I have no idea what I want to do." And I told him, "Listen, bro, if you have no idea what you want to do, come do it. Come join a trade. Me and your brother will teach you everything you need to know. Go to a school that's only 6, 7 months, not 2 years long, and me and your brother will teach you everything you need to know." While he was in school, he gave us phone calls. We taught him everything that he needed to know. Within 5 years of being in the field, him and his brother opened up their own company, and now they've been working for themselves for the last 3, 4 months. He went from being a six-figure salesman within 3 years to within five starting his own company with his brother. They both bought a house because of air conditioning. They both bought cars. His brother, the younger one, started a Turo business with like a fleet of cars. I'm telling you, bro, this business breeds hustlers. This business breeds fucking hustlers. Ideally, now that we've already taken trades in the range, the best setup was when we had clean range here. Now that we've chopped, the next bit of clean range is 12 pips away, right? So that's not a really decent range that I can take advantage of. Whereas we were targeting the rebreak of the highs. Now that we've rejected off this resistance here and we're starting to come back down, the probability of this driving up is not too high. Over here, we already came up to retest the highs once, twice. If this next rebreak doesn't break the daily highs and continue up for a nice top wick, then we're likely going to see more downside before it pulls up. I mean, we are starting to scoop underneath on the higher time frame, which is very good. At least on the 15 to 5 and the 1 minute, we're starting to scoop. So maybe this flip bullish will start to re-break the highs. If we do and we get out of this range, we have perfectly clean range to get up here. But what do we know? Usually price, once it breaks into this range, we usually get a pullback. That first push out isn't always it. I mean, with the breaking the daily high and this volume push up, it might give us a really, really hard push. So let's see. Let's see how we make our way up here. What up, dog? People are crying about the fucking stock market. My bro, stop crying. Keep averaging in. Have you ever heard of a pullback after a bull run? A bull run with hyperinflated money equals a major massive rejection when the value of the dollar gets back down to shit and we're trading and interest rates are back lower than ever. That money becomes easy to borrow and people are refi and taking money out. We can then invest more into the stock market and triple, quadruple our wealth. This is the big transfer of wealth they're talking about. Listen to what I'm saying. If you save your money now and you start making money and you wait, bro, when this thing keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, and we get back to fucking, I don't know, 2020, I don't even know how deep we're gonna go, bro. But you just keep averaging and pineappling in all the way in. Just remember, when price comes back to eventually re-break the highs, because it always does, bro. Look at this move that we had here. 14,000 pips, and we came back and retested and reflipped. We're now 12,000 pips, about to be a full 14,000 pip move. Come on, bro. Just keep averaging in. I saw a tweet today that said that Donald Trump is purposely doing this so that so the value of the dollar can get so low that interest rates can get very, very low. America can refinance their loan at a super low interest rate. The extra money that we have, we can use it to pay down our finances. Instead of being at a very high interest rate that we are now, we refi at a lower rate. The extra money left over gets used to pay the deficit down faster when Buddy does fucking science. Does mathematical genius. Everybody's portfolio starts dumping for like a year, and then because you're continually averaging in, this next year coming up, your returns, instead of being minus 10% for the year, would be plus 20 to 30% on the following year. So if your portfolio takes a tank this year, 10, 15%, the following year, if you continually average in, once we retrace that 15% and then re-break the highs, making it another 20 to 30% year, bro, come on. Keep averaging in. I changed my portfolio to average in daily now because I want to get the best possible price. So every single day, a portion of my money gets deducted from my bank account and it averages into QQQ and VOO. No, refi is no bueno right now, but wait till interest rates come back down. Wait till we get that 2% interest rate again, where I can refi, take out 100 grand, use that 100 grand, put 50% in a CD that brings me back 6% a year, paying for my fucking interest, making me a little bit of extra money on the cash, and invest the other 50. It's literally free money, bro. It's literally free money. It's literally free money. Just wait. I've always said this before, Trump's a businessman. He wants to ensure that when he leaves office, it's so easy to do business and so less regulated, and that's one of his major goals. That's my idea. The backbone of this economy is people working, bro. If we would have tapped the gap, I would have taken a sell. If we would have tapped the gap, I would have taken a sell. This is how I predicted the top on gold. Or sorry, I didn't predict it. I called the top on Nasdaq. What do you see here on the Nasdaq at the highs here at the market open? Gap. Market gap. We gapped down. We came back. We retested the gap. Once we retested the gap, I've been testing this for 2 months now, and it's 100% hit rate. The retest of the gap causes a similar move to what this first push did. So if you take entries at your first setup here, you're gonna catch 200 pips. If you keep holding, you would have caught the entire move here. You know what I'm saying? So the retest of the gap is something I've been testing. Even though we're extremely bullish here, taking a rebreak of the higher is my setup, but we're taking it into the gap. I'm going to consider this gap such a bearish entry that I'm not going to take an entry there. So what do we have on gold here? Gap on the 1 minute. If we were to have tapped this gap, I would have taken a sell on the flip of this 1 minute candle. Did it tap it on here? I don't see the same setup here. Those gaps, I fuck with them heavy. Probably, yeah. What do you see here? Options is a trend line trader. You broke the trend line, you came up, you retested, and now on the rebreak of the low, that's a really good trend line entry.
Yeah, so he's looking for a buy in it. I think it just broke below, and then so I guess he's looking for a push up, if I'm not mistaken.
Buy, it depends if it tapped the level for him. Buy, he would probably wait for a trend line to break. Bullish. Unless it tapped like a really, really strong level like the monthly or 20-day moving average or something like that. Usually those levels are very, very strong. And even though there's no candles marking a level there, a lot of the times price will reject off those heavy moving averages. It's just a price for the last 20 days that the market has liked. And you're going to see big banks like to buy those prices for some reason. They just like it. Like the other day in market, he sent me a picture of this like pink dotted line, and then he's like, there was like no level there really, and price. I took a sell into that dotted line. I remembered the price that he told me. I closed my trade. It instantly rejected that line and flipped for the day, or flipped for several hours. And that was a 20-day moving average or a 100-day moving average or something like that. Something like that. It's just an average price. Yeah, I was looking for. We have another gap here. That's why we're struggling to break through to the lows here. I gotta buy melatonin again. And redo my sleep schedule. That's a life hack. If you're not afraid to biohack, when I need my sleep schedule's fucked up, I force it. So I'll take a 6 milligram melatonin where it's 3 milligram fast acting and 3 milligram slow acting. So I take it like around 10 and 30 minutes. I start to feel sleepy, and then the other half activates like 2 hours later, ensuring that I get at least a good 4 to 5 hour session before anything wakes me up. And then I usually sleep my full 8 hours. And then when I wake up, it is a little bit hard for me to wake up after melatonin. Um, but after I do wake up, I feel a lot better. I want to see us break this level, come back down, re-break the daily low. I fuck with this one. Look at how we rejected off that gap. These gaps are heavy, bro. These gaps are strong. These gaps have to be taken into account. At least now I'm 100% taking them into account every time. I could have taken an entry off that. I'm starting to notice things off these gaps. I only take buys. Listen, bro. I took both. I took le buys and le sells. Le TP, le TP. It's like it was close though. I closed them both at like, well, the second one hit TP. Bro, my sell areas are trash. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the higher time frame moving averages are just fucking higher, I don't know, like big banks where they average in at. Because, you know, there's a lot of institutions that they don't sell. They just continually average in. They're like buy only. When candles are opening with no gaps, that means there's a lot of volume. And in that case, I'll start looking at XAU USD to see what the confluence is. To see if it's similar. For similar price action, I'll disregard the gaps. The minor gaps. I was looking for sells 100%, but look how we rejected that gap. I wanted to see us break below that gap that we've created. If we go down to the 30-second chart right here, there's a gap. Price came up, closed down here. The next candle gapped up and opened right here, which means there's a gap from here to this candle close here. And what do? We tapped the gap. We formed a nice buy setup, and price rejected and came up. The buy setup here for 15 pips on the push. If it continues to break the high here, that validates that buy area 100%. If that breaks the high, the 30's flipping bullish after attempting to break the daily lows here. Yeah, man, that was a really good entry. So that's not an entry that I would normally take, but because I'm taking into account these gaps, that might be something that I take into account in the future, where I start to look for entries here. Like maybe how this candle closed respecting, since this candle came down with the bottom wick first, maybe I could have had a buy stop. Well, it opened up here and it was a big red candle, so maybe I could have had a buy stop on the flip of this candle. The momentum pushed 20 pips here, and now it's reflipping and breaking the highs. This gap initially gave us 47 pips. I don't like how this 5 closed no top wick. That invalidates my trade. I personally don't care about bottom wicks on buys. Yeah, it's part of my plan, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, because it keeps my win rate high. See, look, without this bottom wick, a continuation is tough. At least for me. Going for limit order.
Huh?
Roll down. Where's Chris, bro? Get on the Zoom chat, bro. Talk some shit on Zoom. That was such a good call here, though. That's why I wanted to say I wanted to wait for us to break here. Because what happens, right? You made a daily low. If you're going to confirm this is the daily low, it's not going to break it because this is the daily low. If it's the daily low, it's not going to break it. So where can it reject? That level was the most likely area that it could have rejected for me. So I couldn't take any sells here. And I couldn't take any buys either because this isn't a setup that I normally take. The only buys that I can take now is if price starts to break above these levels here. If we start to get closures above this level, re-breaks of the highs, perfect structure on our way up, then we can start looking for some entries, right? We have 4 minutes for the hourly closure. Let's wait. Hola, people. Finish doing what?
Huh? Give us some time, man.
What un gay, bro. Don't like this range, calling it a day. I'm already over 400 pips, so walking away. My brother, I would have walked away at a hundo. You kept going for another 3. You're a savage. Take it easy, bro. Yeah, bro. You especially when you took a sell earlier and price immediately rejected and started coming up. Even though it came back down to the entry, if you took a pineapple, you definitely got out in profit. After being up all day and then having an instant drawdown trade, I'm like, all right, that's the market telling me go to sleep, bro. Whenever I have a really good day and then Asian session starts to fuck me around and jump and push me around, I'm like, all right, this is the market's telling me that I need to just chill out. Like the other day where I caught like 100 and something pips and the Asian session was like 3 break evens in a row. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna trade for another hour like I usually do. I'm just gonna go to bed. Yeah, especially when you don't like the range. When you look at, bro, when I look at price and I'm like, I don't like that. That's just something that I cannot take. That's just something that I cannot take. I don't like how that looks. And then it works out, and I'm like, huh, why did it work out? If we do come back down to the lows here, that's probably gonna ruin this whole fucking hourly. For our closing soon, you can look for a bottom wick first to take buys if it closes above, possibly. So I'll show you what I'm looking for right now. Because of the way the smaller time frame is printing, I need to get out of this range. I need to get out of here. If price, now that this hourly closed, we just created a lower low, but it's a bullish hourly. On the 30-minute time frame, we have respected support and we're flipping bullish here, right? So this does look like indeed like a decent flip bullish that you can take the celery play bullish here. The only bad part about it is that this range is 7 pips and this range is 14 pips. It's not much of a range for me to take buys up because our resistance is already right here. We could reject off of any of these minor levels here and create a top wick for this hourly, and if it flips bearish, it's still valid for sells. So I really want to just get out of this range, flip the daily, close above, come back down, and then reflip the daily high, and that would be good enough for me to take buys. I really need to get out of this range. This range gave us 20 pip buys, 20 pip sells, and ideally we wanted this to keep going. Ideally we wanted this to keep going, and neither happened. So what are the chances that after 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces in the range that it's going to break out? It's a little less likely when you start getting later into these volume times. Especially like now, we moved an hour forward. Asians are now an hour, they remain the same. So their 8 p.m. is our 9 p.m. So right now is their market open. So we should be getting this Asian volume starting to push us out of the range now. Because the Asian market is what opens right now. Asians are the ones driving the market right now. Asians don't have a time change like we do. Right now, the Asian economy is doing very, very well. They're starting to make a lot of progress on their deficit. They're starting to get higher yields or some shit like that. So they could be the ones dumping gold and taking their money out of gold and investing it into their own economy. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's why gold is starting to get these moves during Asian now. That's one idea that I'm thinking, right? We have a lot of really, really, really good Chinese news that's coming out, and China's doing very, very well in their economy, apparently. You know, you don't trust everything they say, but If your level was off, you see how that 20 SMA was like right there? I've been looking at that off the 20. Yeah, you see we're coming back into range here. And you never know, that could be this could be the Asians unloading a lot of their gold or their invested future stock or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? I don't know much about fundamentals, but when I see China doing very, very well and gold continuing to plummet, makes sense. The best place to get your news on the internet. Apparently, so I'll give you China and all of their stuff. Look at this dump. What did I say, bro? China and all of their stocks are continually growing up. Their bonds are getting higher returns. They're investing more money into their own economy to pay their deficit down faster. That's what China is doing right now. So what did I use to correlate? I said, okay, maybe they're dumping a lot of their gold and using that money to invest back into their economy because now things are starting to settle down. People aren't panic buying gold. Now that we rebroke that low, we came back and we closed back in range here. That is whack-a-doodle. That is whack. Anybody who had a rebreak of that low there, that was 29 instant pips and instant pullback. If you didn't have a TP there, buddy, you got clapped. And I hate that for you. Please don't get clapped. We're here to make young moolah, baby.
Yeah, I saw those sales, but I definitely closed way too early. And then in the same gap, just off. That was ridiculous. It broke what 40 pips past the low that was there, and it just kept dumping. But I closed earlier. But yeah, you were right. Asian pumped and dumped. So we'll see what happens now because there was no closure.
Yeah, I was telling options that several of my trades, the minute that I closed them, because I was in drawdown and had to take 3 pineapples, that kind of messed up my psychology going into the next 2 trades, and I closed them early. They were 40 pip trades in 2 minutes, instant profit. But my TP was at 100 pips, and knowing the Nasdaq, all I had to do was just close half my entries at 40, taking 20 pips, and go break even because that last one was gonna hit TP. Knowing that trade, I could have left it break even and TP because Nasdaq would have kept going, and it did both times. So I missed out on 200 pips in less than 5 minutes because I let my psychology get messed up from the previous drawdown trade. So like knowing that now, bro, I'm just keeping my TPs in place, letting price smack my TP and avoiding like right here, bro, a perfect TP here, perfect TP here, and I'm just keeping my TPs where I think they are and not missing out on these trades psychologically, these big pushes like this. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm sorry. I literally had a brain fart. Yeah, I agree. If we do start breaking up through here and closing back above this range, then I'll consider buys. You wick entry guys are savages if you took any entries there. Yeah, I'm not saying China's doing well. I'm saying that the Chinese stock market is doing well, and they're steadily going up. Their bonds are getting higher returns, and Chinese government is investing more money into their own stock market. They invested trillions more dollars into their stock market. So if the Chinese government is really going all in into their stock market and investing trillions, I was like, huh, where are they getting this money from? Gold is simultaneously dumping. Are they selling their gold to invest in their stock market? Maybe they're not worried about Trump no more. Look at all this volume within 8 minutes. Let's see what happens. This closed bullish with a tiny bottom wick. This is trash. If this would have, I wanted this to keep going so I can have a sell stop here. If this comes down for the bottom wick first, I'm afraid that'll be just to grab orders for a flip bullish. So I'm not interested in sells there no more. I was thinking of having a sell stop here on the break of this low. That was my idea, but I'm not too sure with the way the 5-minute setup. Maybe we need another pullback and then a rebreak. Don't break now. Come up and grab orders and then come back down. What's up, Nadim? That would have activated my sell stop. Yeah, that would have been a good trade. But still, I don't like the way this 5-minute setup. How did it set up here? Yeah, set up the same way. That's ugly. This looks more like the money printer tapping into support before a flip bullish. That looks more like a money printer, if you ask me. Any of you guys looking for a money printer?
I'm looking for buys actually, so because it rejected, it just bounced off the last level, so hopefully it doesn't come back down. So I'm looking for a push up, but I'm not sure. What do you think?
Depends. So I was looking for a flip here, which could have been a variation of the money printer here. Tiny little bottom wick, no top wick, price taps into previous 1-minute support, flips bullish. If that happens, I still won't be looking for buys yet. Maybe if we start to close back up into range here and then get this set up again, right? We get some volume back in range. Then another flip bullish. We could take an entry somewhere here. Break even here. You should get a pop through this level to the daily high. You got 28 pips in this range here. The 5-minute money printer is solid here, which could be the better play if that's your setup. But I'm not too sure with the way we push down heavy and bounce back and forth. It could be a good idea to take it knowing that we're just bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I'm in buys now, actually, from the bottom there. I took them.
Yeah, ideally if we're ranging and that's like your kind of entries, that wouldn't be bad knowing that we just rejected all these lows here again and came back, closed. See if I can get a pullback here and then a reflip. Maybe that'll happen on the 15 closure. That'll give us a 5-minute closure with a top wick. The next one comes back, grabs orders here, and then flips bullish. That would be ideal. But we have a lot of volume. It might not do that. It might do that within like 3-minute candles. It might not do that within 5-minute candles. Yeah, it's all about taking your own setups and what you see, right? Like I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna miss out on 99% trades because I want that 100% confluence. I'm gonna miss out on trades that don't have that drive 200 pips because that hourly doesn't have a bottom wick. I'm gonna miss out on those trades if I don't get exactly what I want. Because every time that I get exactly what I want, that shit fucking moves and hits my TP and my target every time without an issue. High probability. Some days the pullbacks are too heavy before the continuation and I can't survive that pullback and I have to get out and take a loss and then eventually maybe scalp another trade or a couple trades back. But that's just part of the game where sometimes that extra pullback that it needs is too steep. There wasn't enough volume for my push. The 15 just closed. 15 came up for a top wick. It closed respecting this level. I wanted to see if I could take a buy stop here. I kind of missed that. I didn't really need much of a bottom wick there on the 15 with the way that this 1 minute is forming structure on the way up. It came back, tapped previous 1 minute support, and flipped bullish. That would have been a perfect buy stop. Instant 15 pips. Whoever took a buy there, that's a really good entry. This was the play that I was looking for. The same exact one as this one right here. A break of these highs here was the same thing that I was looking for here. Break of these highs. We closed a one. Let's see if we can get a 1 minute closure back into this range. We did. You can get a bottom wick and a flip bullish. And now that we're back in this chop, I'm not interested. The entry was here. I don't like how we have too many levels close by here. And this was a good entry here. 42 pips. Beautiful. I have a run at 33 pips in profit. You're a savage, my boy. You're a savage. I'm up 20 pips for the night. After commissions. Let's add the win from last session and these two. And calculate that win rate.
Is this looking like it's going to keep pushing up? Because I'm still on the buy here. Wondering what my TP would be though.
Yeah, I would be break even. I would just be holding because if it does, bro, you're probably going to catch like 300 pips on this push up. 45 wins on stream. 8 losses. And we also had 3 BEs, so I got to add 3 more, so that's 26. That's beautiful. 45 and 8. That's an 85% win rate. That is beautiful. How many more wins do I need to get that shit to a 90? Damn, I would need like 20 more wins in a row. That's doable. Piece of cake. Cake that is in pieces. Trust. Speed, bro. My fucking bro. How you doing, brother? Every T telling me every other story I can't trade. Yep. When that is happening, instead of a sad face, you say, my risk management is coming into play and it's telling me to stay out or I'm going to lose money. And you understand that that's just you waiting for the best possible entry. Bro. The other night on Asian, this is the moment of truth, right? If price continues to break up above these levels here, we're likely going to see a retest of the daily open. When we retest of that daily open, that's another 20 pips from the bottom. That's 60 pips in profit if you're still in there. So we have two decision levels, this area here and this area here. We can literally just reject right back down and do the exact same thing that we did earlier, especially with all this resistance here, all this resistance here. These are daily open levels. These are very, very strong levels. So me, I would take the majority of my profit probably here and leave runners blasting through after these 100 pips. Because I don't want to leave half my position running from an entry down here, 70 pips, and then it comes back, taps me, and keeps pumping or maybe breaks the lows. That's 70 pips on a half a position. That's a lot.
Yeah, Eddie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I actually lost internet for a second. I was in buys.
Woo.
2882. From 2882, I was in buys. I lost connection, but I was stacked. And I wanted to close and I couldn't. So when I got the internet back, I was in massive profits. And I closed 487.2 pips in profit.
Fucking jeez.
Bro, I like, you don't understand how stressed out I was. I just lost everything for like maybe 15 seconds.
Oh.
And then came back and I was like, I closed immediately at 2887.53. I was stacked. And look at it pump now. I was like, holy crap.
The same thing happened to exact same thing happened to me, bro. Your heart just starts pumping and pumping, and you're refreshing, and you're like, why is the internet not working? And you refresh it again, and you're like, come on, bro. You airplane mode, refresh. 30 seconds later, I'm like, bro, my account could be blown right now, bro. And then I'm like, bro, I'm like, holy shit. I made the mistake of trading at an old lady's house that wasn't home, and I was just in my car, and my service dropped. My phone went into SOS mode, and I literally said, nah. I went and I drove around the block until I found a spot with service, and it finally got service. And I looked at the trade, and I was still break even, and I was like, oh my god.
That's lucky, man. And look at it pumping. If I hadn't received the internet back, I'd still be in the position in massive profits. Another 20 pips with a stack positions, bro. This is absolutely insane, bro. I've never done this before, and my heart was pounding.
Yeah, bro. It's
I'm like,
the biggest transfer of wealth of all time is happening.
Dude, Oh man, did this break the daily high? Or the flip? Did it flip?
We retested the daily open here for me. On XAU, what did we do here? We rebroke the daily high. The candle's flipping bullish. Can we get... What's the clean range here? 30 pips? Yeah, I'm gonna have a buy stop here. Account for spreads, because whatever they are, they're high as shit. I'm assuming this won't just be the top wick, right? I'm assuming we're gonna come back up and wick at least past these areas, right? These are minor. That's 8 pips. And our next level here is 23 pips away to break us into this new range. That would be 52 pips of range that we can take advantage of. But it really has to come up, re-break the daily high completely, and not just pump back into range. 60 pip runner, that's a savage. It's all good, bro. One day you'll take the break and retest. I did take the break and retest just from a different level. But what I've been doing is I've been noticing your guys' entries, and then I've been trying to adapt my entries to see what I can get at these same levels. And I've been doing some decent work. Look at this volume. Holy shit. One side's driving and the other side hasn't even activated me yet. This is whack, and so is this. What the hell? If this activated you, that's tough. The next pineapple is steep. You might see a pullback here to here, which will probably put you at break even, because that is 20 pips down to 19 pips up. So yeah, this wouldn't even give you an opportunity to get out in profit. Maybe this will give you an opportunity to get out in profit, where it comes back to this previous high, putting you 2 positions in profit. This is how I would manage. I would probably take We just tested the gap here. Oh, we just gapped down. All right, I'm closing these buy stops. 30-minute closure. Yeah, bro. See, what exactly what I was saying earlier, Jay. If you were still in this, right, and you caught the foot push for 70 pips, I would have closed the majority of my trades there, or at least 90%, because this level is so strong that we could literally pull all the way back to your open and screw the entire fucking trade up.
Yeah. Wait.
You're cutting in and out right now. I'm not familiar with the mango. Am I tripping? Can this 30 hurry up and close right where we're at? I'm gonna leave my buy stops here. Yeah, I'm leaving it.
What? What do you watch?
How's your foot?
Feel better this afternoon, but either frame today or probably won't be able to do legs this week because I can't put weight on it. It's my Achilles.
Yeah, mobile hotspot works great, but sometimes it's dookie. Gap retest. Are we gonna reflip bullish here? That would be beautiful if we do. Tell you what, if it rebreaks that low, I'm not interested in buys again. This area is just too strong, man. You're either done or you aren't. Don't think about it. Take the stress away. Yep. So this is, I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice. When I read in the book The Best Losers Win, and in the book it says, what really happens when you take a loss and you leave for the day and you cut the day short? your opportunity presents itself many, many, many more times, and you missed out on it because you decided that after a loss, I'm going to cut it short and not trade anymore. Or I don't like the markets, or any reason, I'm not going to trade. So you missed out on opportunity that you need to take advantage of having an edge in the market. You can let trades pass by, but ideally you want to catch every setup that is your A plus 100% setup. You need to catch all of those setups because they cushion you for the losses, and that's what makes you profitable. Taking all of your setups because your setups have a high probability of winning, so that eventually when you do take a loss, you have so much cushion that it doesn't matter. That's why taking all of the trades that you can possibly can of your A plus setup is the way to go. You don't want to, if I take a loss, I'm not going to cut myself short or lower my lot size or do anything like that. I'm going to be more strategic and more patient and work my way back slowly and taking my A plus setups as many times as it presents itself. The other day I had like 8 bangers in a day. Today I only had 2. The other day I only had 2. And then the more that I try to only take A plus setups, the less I lose. I haven't taken a loss on the Nasdaq in 30 days. All my losses have came from gold. I haven't taken a loss on the Nasdaq in 30 days. Yeah, it's I'm gonna delete it and wait till we actually come back up here. I wonder if we're just gonna trickle up. I think I'd rather wait for it to break, pull back, and then continue. Yeah, I tell you what, I used to say, all right, when I take a loss, I can't trade no more, and I wouldn't trade for the rest of the day. And then market mechanic would say, bro, don't cut yourself short. What if your setup presents itself later and you lost 150 pips? What if you catch another 30 or 40 pips back at the end of the day? Then you only lost 110 pips. And then tomorrow, or an Asian session, you catch another 20, 30 pips. Then New York session again, you catch another 20, 30 pips. And on Asian session again, you're back in profit. So all it takes is 1 or 2 more sessions for you to be back in profit, or for that loss to not have affected you as much of you taking your setups. Like I wouldn't have caught 70 pips today on the Nasdaq if I would have cut myself short after taking that unnecessary pineapple, where I market executed instead of taking market executed the entry instead of having a buy stop, trying to anticipate that push when I should have just kept a buy stop, and then price dumped and I had to pineapple out. So obviously my heart rate was a little bit high there, and I was like, instead of cutting myself short for making a mistake and getting out break even, I decided to just continue. I'm gonna keep the buy stop there. This should give us that push. Yep. You need to know, yes, you need to know yourself, because if you know that you're a person that's gonna tilt, you need to know when to cut yourself off. Yeah, so leaving for the day because you know that you're gonna tilt is not a bad idea. It's a very, very good strategic idea. But maybe stay on the charts and paper trade and say, oh, look, my trade. Oh, look, my trade. Oh, look, my trade. Yeah. The thing with more time on the charts is that you're seeing more candles print, you're printing more data into your brain, you're getting a better understanding of the characteristics of the market, you're seeing the flow of the candles as they happen, as they make the double bottom, as they close above, as you can see the movement on the lower time frame on of how it's moving, giving you a really good indication of when the higher time frame pushes are going to start to happen because you can see them start to form on the lower time frame. So that's one of the really good things about having time on the charts is that you really start to get a deeper understanding of the flow of things. And that's what really helps you understand what patterns are going to work and what patterns aren't, the probability of things happening. So on futures, we have a much lower high here. We already have a daily top wick. On gold here, we don't have a top wick, and we're bouncing back and forth from this top wick. So knowing that we could easily we need at least like a 20 pip top wick. We need like at least a 20 pip top wick, so that's exactly what I'm looking for on the rebreak of the daily high here. So what closed here right now? 5 minute. Yeah, this is struggling to rebreak the high here, but I feel like after all this accumulation and still staying underneath, that this push is going to be pretty savage. Could be pretty savage to the downside too. It could literally wick me in and then dump. Could be a retest of the trend line, whoever's taking sells. I didn't hear anything. I just heard some noise and I said, alright. Moot. What do we have? A 5 minute closure here. This 5 minute closed above. It's driving with no bottom wick here. I don't like that. I don't like how we respect it here and we're coming up with no bottom wick. We could easily break the high and then flip bearish. I'm going to delete this and then wait. Let's be patient. You can be in sells. Dude, I don't care. Alright, buy stops are coming back. I really need this to be like... What do we have? A 5 minute closure coming up soon. This 5 minute closed above. We came down, grabbed the bottom wick at this previous support. This flip bullish should be it. If this doesn't flip bullish and it comes back down in range, I think I'm just going to call it. And this is just look primed to pop up for a daily top wick. It just looks primed. With the 15-minute closure coming up, it could be more drawdown before that flip bullish. gold gap down? Where? $28.96. And I'm gonna close these buy stops here. It can push if it wants to. I need to wait for this 15-minute to close. It might do it now. It's too close to the 15-minute closure. The 15-minute closes with no bottom wick respecting, or no top wick respecting this level here. We'll probably see a little pop up and then a flip down, and I'm not interested. It definitely looks clean though. Not too clean though. That would have activated me for sure. $20 seconds left for this 15. Six seconds left. 15-minute time frame closing. Leg candle. Still closure above the range. How steep of a pullback can we get? I might have a buy stop. Ooh. Let's really confirm this push here. I expect this 1 hour to close above the range and finish off the next 1 hour. That's probably gonna activate me in 3, 2, 1. Activate. Look at that dump. What are you Asians doing? They're playing with Americans. I was watching Trader Tom make a couple of videos, and he was saying that when he goes to gamble online, that he gambles, oh, that looks like it's gonna wick me in and then close him and then take me out. That's so ugly. I don't like this consolidation here, man. because I'm using the 1 minute for the higher time frame entry. If this hourly flips and breaks the high, it's breaking the previous hourly high, it's breaking this previous hourly support, it's breaking the current daily high over here. So all of these highs are being broken, all of these levels are being broken. So I'm using the 1 minute to confirm the higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. If we continue to re-break the daily high here, that's confirming a new high. So where's this possibility of the next high? Anywhere in this range here. So possibly break even or maybe full closures is here at like 12 pips. Depends how fast it moves. We're also understanding that the daily top wick will likely be a decent top wick. We want it to be a decent top wick, not just like a little baby one. Such a strong level we're at. Such a strong daily high. Oh, that put me in. I don't like that at all. This is such an ugly trickle up. There's the volume. There's the re-break of the daily high and the instant pullback again. What are you doing here, buddy? Exactly what Bougie said. Be patient and just let gold cook. Alright, this is starting to break structure to the upside here. We just came back down to the daily flip area. Let's see if we can get another little volume push up like this candle did and flip completely. We just have the money printer going both ways, so this is solid. This is nice. It's coming back to the top of the range. Let's see if we can get a steep enough push to break us through. If this starts to struggle here and doesn't want to break us through, we're probably going to see some drawdown here. It's making a decision right now. It's making a decision. That rebreak should be gone. Coming up to that rebreak should be gone. The fact that your gold is moving on XAU and my side's still frozen at 5 pips. Oh, that should be it. That should be gone. We pray for discipline, stoicism, zero greed, and the ability to follow our plan. So, one thing I'm going to do is close here at -3 pips, and I'm going to wait for this hourly closure. It can drive. I closed at -3 pips, and I'm probably going to call it there. The fact that we haven't driven yet on futures has me sketch that we're going to flip, break the high, give us the 10 pips here, not give me anything here, and then just continue down here. Because I've seen that many times. So because of the slowness of futures that I'm seeing currently, I'm gonna cut that one at -3 pips. It can still continue to drive. But again, after this re-break of the daily high, and I didn't get that break here, and now we're rejecting it, that tells me that even here, where you guys were able to get out completely break even, or maybe in a few pips in profit, it wasn't enough in future side. So I'll just wait for the hourly closure. We'll call that a break even. And it just gapped down. Yeah, I think that's a decent closure. I'm out of that. If it continues to drive and it re-breaks the high, then you have a much better entry now, or a better probability, especially with this money printer setting up here. So it could still be valid, but I'd rather stay out and just call it a night. What the hell? $6 for this closure. You might get an hourly pop up, and that pop would have put us in profit, maybe hit the TP. But with this hourly about to close with no top wick, I don't like that. We would need to pull back, which would put us in drawdown. Bottom wick, which would put us in more drawdown. We would have pineappled, and then a flip bullish for a continuation. But no, I don't like the fact that we're hovering right here. We're consolidating this entire move. I'm out. I'm outie. Yep, back again tomorrow. On the road to pay out. Well, gang, that basically concludes the session for tonight. We're on the road there. We're getting there. We're on a win streak. We're building the buffer on the account. Once we get that buffer fully in there, I'm going to fully withdraw the entire amount, leave a small amount or the 500 left in the account, and then copy trade that with the smallest lot size and build that one back up while I pass a couple of new evals um, and start them fresh. So ideally, it would be 1 to 2 week to pass the evals, 30 days for the payout. So if I can continue that cycle and just take the full amount out for now and just build a big buffer of cash, that would be ideal. But we're getting there. We're gonna do it. We got a plan, and the plan is working beautifully. I got 3 more weeks of trading the PAs, and then once my 2 more Apex accounts renew, I'll work on those 2 at the same time. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. So, with that being said, yep, exactly. Focus on the strategy and everything falls into plan. Have a wonderful night, everybody. If you're still in this trade, I could drive here. It's respecting these 1 minute levels. We're just bouncing back and forth. It might just retest the high and come back down. It's tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to break it and it hasn't. So, I don't know yet. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Peace.